Hello everyone, it's Yvonne here to do the readings for the earth signs, and this will be for the lovely sign of Capricorn. Capricorn, firstly, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, we'd love to have you on board. Please make sure you hit the little bell though, because that will alert you to when I'm going live or when I'm uploading readings. If this reading doesn't resonate with you, make sure you check out other aspects of your natal chart, such as your moon, your rising and your ascendant. It's a really good idea to have a clear picture of who you are. If you're unsure to do that, you can go to Google a natal chart and just put in all of the details around your birth. Okay. If the reading does resonate, make sure you give it a big fat thumbs up for me. Helps me to grow the channel. Thank you in advance. Alright, we're going to use the Gilded Tarot Royale for your reading. Let's see where we're going. Okay, so we have the star coming out. I have a feeling I did another reading where the star came out straight away. I don't know if that was today or not. Just sort of rings a bell. The star card is beautiful because what it talks about is healing, having faith, having trust in the universe. It's understanding that whatever's been pre-written for you, it will be on your pathway. No matter which direction you go in, it will be in front of you. The universe never holds back from you what is rightfully yours. So the star talks about destiny. It does talk about having faith and trust in the universe, and it does talk about healing. And this card says to me that some of you have been on a very potent healing journey at the moment. You may have had a lot of insight, you may have had a lot of awareness brought to the surface, but something here is telling me that you are, I feel, bringing stuff up from the subconscious, or bringing stuff in from the subconscious that you've got hidden away. So it may be the energies of starting to get in touch with parts of your emotion or yourself that you've put away. Okay, because this is closing down, it's helping you to close down some sort of cycle you've been in. And again, I'm really drawn to the moons on these cards. Look at them all. So what this says to me is there's some sort of energy of you needing to close out a cycle here. The cycle could be with the wands, something you've carried around with you for a very long time. Because I have the star and this sort of emotional water thing going on here, I'm feeling like perhaps you're raising past sadnesses, past unhappinesses, things that you've dumped down, emotions that you've put away because they've been too difficult for you to work with. I feel like they're coming to the surface. All right, we have the Chariot here. So this is Aquarius and Cancer energy coming through here. And I feel like the Cancer does represent the moon, so there's sort of more moon energy in a way here. The Chariot talks about moving forward, but I feel like here somehow you can't move forward because just excuse me for a moment, some emotions from your past have been holding you back. Something's been holding you back from moving forward. So it's like some sort of emotions or some sort of buried feelings have been holding you back from moving forward on your journey. Let me just take another card here. Wow. Okay, you are moving away from this energy. Now, if this so happens that this is a person here, I feel like you're putting down some sort of burden in regards to the emotions of this person or what this person has left behind. Because you are moving away, and now you're moving towards a moon, and if you note here, the moon is full, whereas here it wasn't. So it's like you've received some sort of upgrade here by releasing yourself from some sort of emotions that have kept you trapped. Okay, look, moving away, Six of Swords, taking the lessons and moving away from a situation. Something has held you back here. Now again, it could be a person, but it feels to me more like energies. It's like you've kept yourself held back by some sort of energy here. Okay, Three of Pentacles, Three of Wands. Okay, you're bringing something to a close here. Now for some of you, this could be a soul contract that you're putting an end to. You could be completing it with the Ten of Swords here. You could be completing some sort of ending to something. You may have been betrayed by someone. Some of you may have been in a third-party situation and feel quite betrayed by someone. But you're definitely moving forward with this Three of Wands. You're looking out towards the future, waiting for your ships to come in. But I feel like you couldn't move forward because of these emotions you were carrying around with you. But you see, I look at this and I think, were all these emotions from this situation, or were you holding back on something? You know, sometimes when we're not able to express ourselves, or we're not able to have conversations, or we don't get closure on something, sometimes we can be really cruel to ourselves. We can believe in some way, shape or form that we need that closure to move forward, and it can keep us locked into energies. There is something here with that Three of Pentacles that you contracted before, long before you came to this earth. Something that you chose to put yourself through to be able to understand how to allow yourself to process emotions properly. Maybe you've never learned to do that. Maybe some sort of childhood trauma, some sort of way of thinking. Because whatever this is, that Ten of Pentacles says to me, Ten of Swords says to me that you're putting something to bed, you're leaving it behind, you're understanding that you've healed the emotions to do with that circumstance, and you're moving forward. Let's have a look what's going on. Okay, so the Queen of Wands is coming out. Now I'm feeling like this is most likely your energy here, because we're moving forward now. We're not looking back at the past. And the wand suits are all about fire, passion, drive. You know, this is a person who wants to create a future, create the future they want. This is a person who drives with this internal fire, who goes after what they want. This Queen of Wands is an energy of feeling passionate enough about something to go for it. Okay, so we have the Hermit card coming through, the Two of Pentacles with the Eight of Swords. I've been getting this sort of energy through with the readings this morning, and it's really quite interesting. I wonder if a lot of people have got caught up in their heads and caught up in an energy of believing that something is not possible for them, and it's been coming through in all the readings. Sometimes when things don't go our way, or we want something, or we desire something and we believe that we can't have it, we don't really try to manifest it, or we try to manifest it but we will believe that we can't have it, or that somehow it doesn't belong to us, it's not right for us to go after something, or chase after something, or desire something. And I get this really strong feeling in the readings, in all the readings I've done today, so it's obviously in the energies at the moment, that a lot of you are being trapped in fear and unable to see your way forward from something that you've wanted so greatly but hasn't come to pass. The Hermit here is really shining a light on the Two of Pentacles for me. So, and the Two of Pentacles talks about some sort of, it's like going round in circles with something, because in the traditional tarot we see him with the Eight, so he's constantly trying to balance something out. Maybe two options, two ways of thinking, head over heart, heart over head, but something this Two of Pentacles is trying to balance out. But what it's doing, in effect, is keeping you stuck in a cycle. So it's like you're going round and round and round, but you're not getting out of it. And the Hermit is trying to find a way for you to see how to remove yourself from the situation and take on the energy in order to move forward. So this sort of passionate, driven energy. So you're stuck. It's like you're stuck in this Two of Pentacles energy. All right, let's keep going. King of Swords. Page of Wands. You look like you're waiting on something and you're keeping yourself bound by waiting for something here. Now, if this is a past situation for you, and I know a lot of people going through this at the moment, it's very difficult to dislodge yourself from something that either wasn't meant for you or hasn't come around for you. And it's very difficult to move yourself out of that energy. And I hear about it. Obviously, I do readings for people. I do coaching for people where you're stuck in that energy because you feel that you're unable to release yourself for whatever reason. And I feel like here, it's like you're waiting for something to show you the way forward. You're waiting for, as I always say, the other shoe to drop. And it's like you're waiting on communication, waiting on a message, possibly from a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius here. Or waiting on someone here who needs to either apologize or speak up. But the energy here is that either you don't believe it's coming, or you're keeping yourself trapped waiting for it. All right, Devil energy. Okay, obsession. Okay, Five of Swords, learning to walk away. It's funny because I saw the Seven of Swords while I was shuffling and I was wondering why it was coming out. The Devil card talks about, it's like you've got yourself into some sort of obsessive way of thinking here. You've got to free yourself from this cycle, is what the Spirit is saying here. You've got to walk away from this cycle because being in this cycle is self-sabotaging any sort of outcome that you would have had. So there seems to be some sort of lesson here around understanding your obsessions, understanding obsessive cycles, understanding there's some sort of lesson you're needing to learn here because you're actually blocking the very thing you want from coming in. Now, I have a feeling this was very similar to the Taurus reading as well. So you might want to check out the Taurus reading. But what I'm seeing here is this is you understanding here with this Devil energy. It's interesting. You always come out in your own reading. It's very interesting, though, that this is creating. It's like you're betraying yourself. It's like you are hurting yourself. It's very Nine of Wands. You're hurting yourself over and over and over again by being locked into your way of thinking, your outcome, your control here. And what's happening is because you're trying to do this here and going over and over and over the same thing in your mind, you're actually blocking yourself from manifesting the very thing you want. Let's have a look and see what's going on. I feel that you're going through some sort of healing phase. The universe is saying definitely with the star, you need to have faith and trust, it's in hand. You're coming to the end of some sort of cycle here. It's something to do with walking away. It could be walking away from a person here, particularly Cancer, but I feel like it's like you're walking away from something in order to get something to move forward. But the energy is all over the place here. So you're moving away from some sort of soul contract. I feel like you're looking out, waiting for your ships to come in here, and you've cleared out some sort of negative cycle because we have happiness on the other side of that. So it's like you're blocking your blessings. And I've been feeling this a bit with the readings today, but the last couple of weeks. It's like you are driving yourself in cycles in your own mind, trying to understand how to move something forward. But the very way to move it forward is by letting it go. But you're not understanding that. You've got yourself trapped in some sort of obsessive thinking, negative thinking. And you may be trying to resolve this by drinking more or facing sort of addictive things. For some of this is overindulging in food. But somehow or another, the universe is saying to you, if you're waiting for communication, you need to let that go. You need to let it go because you need to walk away and you need to move into a new time here with this Seven of Swords. Take your lessons and go, the Magician, because you're stopping yourself from manifesting something because you're stuck in the thinking of how it's going to turn out. Hanged Man. Eight of Cups again. Okay, have a look at this. So if you have a look at this energy, we can see here that there's some sort of thinking, way of doing, way of being here that you need to move away from with this Five of Swords. You're sort of stuck in this energy here. Maybe you're sort of waiting for something to happen with the Swords energy. This card says to me what you're waiting to happen here is creating a block for you. You're self-sabotaging yourself by trying to bring about some sort of conclusion here when you have no control over that. This says to me here everything that I've just said. You've got to see things in a very different way. You have to have a new perspective on this. And the way to have a new perspective is you need to give up, move away, let go in order to manifest what you want. You have to trust that you have everything you need to bring about this situation. Because if you're not trusting yourself, then you're going to keep going in this cycle. This cycle of sort of negative energy, this overthinking, this over-visualizing. So because you're trapped in this, you're not doing this. So it's quite interesting energy. All right, let's pull you an oracle card. I think sometimes we don't realize how we block ourselves when we overthink. But if your mind's busy thinking about all the ways that this could come out or all the things that could happen and all the negative reasons why you can't have this, if you're focused on all of those things, how are you going to manifest what you want? Because you're visualizing all of the different things that you want or that could happen or might happen instead of allowing the universe to do her work. Oh wow, look, never-ending story. Isn't that Two of Pentacles energy? Never-ending story. It's interesting because 37 is the number 10. And of course 10 adds to 1. And 1 is a new start. Think about that. This is self-criticism, the wounded ego, and unnecessary dramas. There is a story woven through the imperfect fabric of life that tells of hurt and loss, rejection and humiliation, self-loathing and arrogance, and all manner of suffering born of unnecessary dramas. It is the old story whose refrain is, you cannot do this, must not go there, should not say that, lest your world come crumbling down. Today, none of this is actually true. The sky's not falling. The voice you hear is just a small, scared, conditioned part of you that got stuck in a lie, wants to protect you, and needs to be seen as a victim, which of course is that energy. Love that lost piece of you. Fear is all it knows. Distorted guidance is preventing you from being true to yourself. You are not your story, and the narrator is simply the voice of your fearful part, small and vulnerable and easily soothed. So you've got yourself in this idea of lack, not having, not being able to create, and you're probably visualizing a lot of things that aren't true. So you've got yourself on this loop of believing all the untruths rather than just letting it go and letting the truth unfold as it should. All right, I'll leave you with that. Thanks, Capricorn.